Hey, now for real.
Okay, now for
right.
reals, right? I have no idea when the last recording stopped. Apparently, it stopped after like 3 or something minutes, but when I was making fun of the French way of calling yourself by your name or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the Danish do it. Like, for example, you want to say 97. They say 7 plus, in brackets, minus a half plus 5,
so
brackets closed, times 20.
Yeah, dude, you cannot afford to be bad at math if you live in Denmark.
I mean, I already get pissed off at the German way, which is like 7 and 90 instead of 90 and 7. It's so confusing at work. Like when you speak like English to half the people and then German to the other half, and you try to like make sense of numbers. And sometimes, like when
storm count is 10 plus 7 divided by 3.
So it says like in in Japanese, if you say 97, it says it's 9 times 10 plus 7. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yeah, that's actually kind of fucked up now that I talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Like, at least they put the 90 in front.
You're okay.
You're good enough.
It's
like,
not just you. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Guys, what have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks since our last recording, as it usually is, right? I've been pretty busy, but let's hear from you guys, because I think you guys are also kind of busy lately.
Yeah. Playing a lot of Magic, actually, in the background. Testing for...
You are? Because I thought you were going to be busy for different reasons.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm busy altogether, but every now and then, like, I can sneak in, like a Magical Online League. Testing out a couple of decks for Eternal Weekend. Actually, I'm taking it kind of seriously this time. And
as opposed to previously?
Oh, yeah. Oh, because, like, this is the first time in a while joining Eternal Weekend, because last year I couldn't join the main event. I did my Savatarix booth, but this year I'm a free man and I will join as a free person with a free deck. So
you sound like one of these people in the US who want to, like, you know, what are they called? Free man of the land? Who, like, they believe that if you go to the post office and you say a special code, then you can mail yourself into, like, not paying taxes or something.
Look, I made a free choice of choosing my deck for this event. I think that's already free enough.
Okay. As opposed to previously when, like, we bullied you into playing Doomsday.
Oh, you know, guys, yeah, man, a lot has changed. So I picked up Oops Soul spells, and man, dude, that deck is just not for me. Oh man, I played, like, I gotta say, like, there's never been a deck where I played so many leagues in such a small amount of time. But like, oh, dude, you gotta have a lot of self control when you play a deck like Uso spells, because man, oh man, like, there are games where you have to mulligan down to 4 and 3, and you, like, oh man, like, it happens so often, you know. It's the same. I think most people who have played the Necro Dominance turbo deck, like, can kind of relate, but that deck just, like, when it wins, it just seems so unfair, because they go like turn 1 Battlesuit Spy or turn 1, you know, like, Necro Dominance with Pact of Negation backup. But like the amount of times this doesn't work out is just it's just too much for me.
I'm sure every single person that plays against Oops are gonna be like, yeah, well, they always do that to me every single time. So
exactly,
but
yeah.
No,
but they don't know. Yeah, but they don't know about the boy right here who has almost never pulled that thing off. You know, in fact, I've just mulliganed to Oblivion, and the opponent's like sending me like question marks in chat, you know, before I press the concession button, and, you know, stuff like that. Oh man.
I think it's a really, really important thing to keep in mind when you're preparing for online and in paper events, because Oops, I do think, is a very strong deck, and I do think played well is terrifying. No, like, as we're going to talk about soon, it took down a big event this weekend. But if you're going to Prague to play an Eternal Weekend, spending a lot of money to play 30 minutes of Magic tops over the whole day, like, a lot of people, I'm exaggerating a bit, but a lot of people don't want to do that. Even if they win, a lot of people want to go and play more Magic and have more interactive games and stuff.
So you're saying that people in paper Magic are not taking enough mulligans to force a will just because they don't have enough preps versus Oops Soul spells.
Exactly, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, yeah, but man, like just imagine taking so many mulligans in real life. Do you know how much shuffling that is? And like,
and then your opponent's like, God, I'm so sorry, dude. You must be feeling awful. And then you just kill them turn 1 on a multi 3.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? You could pretend that you, like, broke your arms or something, and then I think they will give you a judge to shuffle your deck.
I don't know
this
if I
is
get better
tactics.
opening hands with that, you know?
Everyday Eternal life hacks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tactic, actually.
Like, do you know how much time you open up for like unnecessary small talk with your opponent? You know, if you take 5 mulligans, I guarantee you that's at least 5-6 minutes on the clock, right? That's 5-6 minutes you have to kill time with your opponent. You gotta talk about like stupid nonsense, you know?
We all know, right? That's the worst part of Magic.
Do you think you would spend more time mulliganing than playing Magic through the day?
Oh, with Oops,
Quite easily, right?
100%, yeah. And we haven't even talked about the
honestly, like playing is pushing it. It's just like presenting, I guess.
One thing I will always say about the Oops spells deck though is like it has a couple of cool lines. It's far more than just like resolving a Balustrade Spy, right?
That's why I said I think it's one of the hardest decks last week.
It's much more. And also special shoutouts to the card Poxwalker. That guy is ridiculous in this deck. It's so cool, and it's a little unintuitive also at the same time, because if you sack Poxwalker to Cobalt Therapy, targeting your opponent or targeting anyone, like it comes right back. It just comes back immediately, even though you just sacked it for the costs.
You heard it here first. Buy your Poxwalkers now.
You know what I mean?
It
was like too much for me at first. I was like,
you're paying the cost as you cast the spell, and as you finish casting a spell, it's in a graveyard. And then it sees the spell being cast and triggers.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Dude, it looks like you're flickering a creature, but with split second. You know, because it goes like boop boop. You know, it's just right back. It's cool. That's so cool.
More Magic
Dude, it's actually
tactics.
surprisingly cheap still. Like you can get it for like 3-4 euros on Magic Card Market.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna mention another platform, so we'd be like, hey, if you wanna actually sponsor us, anyone, then you have to. But actually, I couldn't even think of a different platform. That's bad. Anyway, you can
Magic
also buy
Card
them
Market
directly
doesn't even
from Kai.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
I still remember when they first came around. Everybody was talking about them. How like we had that quest in Munich. A lot of people back in 2007-8, we always talked about we have to get all the dual lands to Munich, and then like we would sell them, between each other, like for really cheap, like even cheaper than they were back then. But to outsiders, we would only sell like at really high costs, and we would buy from them. And then between us, we would like sell at cheap. And yeah, you know, that's probably like some cartel or whatever you want to call it. Actually, it was more like communism, I guess. There must be a way to like phrase it, because there was really this push, and I like that, and I thought that was pretty cool, even though like it didn't really matter, right, whether your underground sea was like 20 euros or like 16 euros, but to us it did. And I bought a lot of
What are we talking about again?
Not buying a lot of tropical. I don't even remember. Getting all the deals to me. No, anyway, Poxwalker. Okay, Poxwalker. I noticed that when I looked at the deck list, because I didn't see any of the Pox. This is off topic. It's so funny. I didn't notice Poxwalkers in previous Upsal spell decks. But dude, I looked at the win percentage in like one of the big tournaments that we're going to talk about in a moment. The Anzid Eternal Legacy Showdown. We really got to get better at naming these tournaments, by the way. it's the Eternal Legacy Showdown as opposed to, I don't know, the standard Legacy Showdown. Anyway, and looking at Upsal Space, and only 5 people played it, and one person went like pretty deep, or actually, no, they ended up taking it down. Chautin, that we have no information. And holy shit, like those matchups against the top decks, like it crushed all the top decks, like 62%. What else do we have here? Okay, Mystic Fortress isn't really a top deck. Like all I see is 100% and 62%, 66% against Blue Black Reanimator. But where's Blue Black Tempo or something? Demia Tempo, they would probably call it. Like it did really well, and I guess part of that is kind of like, yeah, the person who ended up winning played the deck, but also the other 4 people probably weren't too shabby. And yeah, I thought we were going to come into this podcast and Kai would be like, dude, I found my deck. We talked about this last time, right? It's the hardest deck in the format. It's so good. It's so hard to properly sideboard and play out the lines. And now we come back here and Kai is just like, yeah, I just like mulliganed 500 times in a single game, and it's just not for me, so I'm going to play a worse deck.
So I'm back to Doomsday, baby.
Is it gonna be?
I think so. Yeah.
It's your brand. It's well positioned.
It's my brand, first of all. But like, Vexing Bauble is surprisingly good. I totally
Really? No way.
I not like that, you know. Like I just like to like. There's no way this card will make you know, like a safe spot in a LED lowest pedal days forcible deck, but it's surprisingly good, man. I don't know. Like, not caring about counter match is just like a really cool thing with the combo deck. And it also has a little bit of splash damage too against Oops All Spells and Cephalid Breakfast.
It is nice that like you can go Dark Ritual Doomsday and then draw into the pile.
Yeah, dude.
Your combo doesn't involve any 0 drops. Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know like the coolest thing is like, so the other day I jumped into a league, played against like a control player. I had a Vexing Bauble in play, and then I went Sherlock Isle Emrakul, cast the Emrakul for free, triggered Vexing Bauble, but guess what? Emrakul, baby!
Wait, that's the thing again? We're Sherlock Isling again?
Oh, dude, I will never leave my house without Sherlock Isle Emrakul.
Because Control's doing so well right now. You need it.
Can we clip this?
To be fair, like Control seems to be doing really badly in the format. But
there's no Control.
There's still going to be
now.
Loads at Eternal Weekend probably. People like playing Control.
You know what I think is that like most of the Control players, they might shift to the Cloud Post deck maybe. It's just like they could. Yeah, I think I know a couple people. Or like Mark Eric Folk, for example. Like and those guys like obsessed. Like all they want to do is like play into the late game, right? No matter what the costs are, and I don't know. Like
Mark has been talking about wanting to play the Cloud Post deck for a year, and he did at like local events and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't think, Mark, if you're listening to this, I don't think you have the balls to actually play it in Eternal Weekend. I think you will default to some kind of like regular control deck again.
He totally does. He played it at 4 seasons at least once, maybe twice.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I take everything back. And, Mark, I know you actually have like 3 or 4 balls. Like you can actually get rid of them and still be like,
how many times
more of them?
like everybody knows that the more Cloud Post, actually this is getting really weird.
Right. Yeah. and even like last year, man, it's been an entire year. Surprise. But like even like people like Matt Brown, for example, like he also picked up the Cloud Post deck last year, and that was not even the good deck list, right?
That's because he's a lands
right
player, not a control player.
Okay.
He likes crop rotation.
But I mean, who doesn't like crop rotation?
There's a pretty sweet for it. Man, imagine if you show up at the Eternal Weekend, the main event, and then you have already those new crop rotations from the Asian Eternal Weekend up. That'd be kind of cool.
Pretty baller.
Yeah.
Because everyone would be like, you didn't win all 4, so you're just really rich.
You're all blinked out, like you got the crop rotations, and then I guess the deck doesn't play Ponder, but you just happen to have them anyway. Just like your lucky charm or something. Like you wear them around your neck. Yeah. Cloud Post also did really well. We only had like 3 people playing Cloud Post, and it had a 59 win percentage. Like the only deck that did better is like Oops All Spells, I guess, at like almost 70%, like 68, which is like insane. But 5 people playing it. Yes. What else do we have here? Like there's tons of like decks that only 1 or 2 people played. Like Dredge did insanely well with 2 people. Dimir Delver, which is kind of funny, right? It used to be like a proper legacy deck, kinda, but now it's just like 1 person played it. Elves, 2 people playing it, 72%.
Before we delve too much into this format, it's probably worth saying what the event is, because it's kind of a special thing. It's like a very big challenge in a way. So this was Anzid Eternal Legacy Showdown, as you said, with a really good name. And just to give a little quick background, this was like you had to qualify for it. I think maybe you could pay as well, but the entry was quite high. But essentially, you had to 5-0 a league, top 8 a challenge, or 3-1 or 4-0 a prelim. And the prelims were very full with lots of good players. So there was 241 players in this event, and it was like you had to qualify first. So I think the quality of players was quite high as well. So just to give some background in the event.
So there were like special prices as well, because I don't know how this tournament came together, but Anurag has been like ever since, even like for I want to say like for the last couple of years, he's been so pumped and so invested, which is so crazy because like he's not only doing Legacy, right? He's doing coverage for all different kinds of things, and apparently like he pushed Magic Online to have this Anzid Eternal Legacy Showdown. That actually went down. The name was on Magic Online, and he. I think this one, the MTGO Creator Showdown was streamed, and I remember watching Anurag playing in his own tournament, which would have do that.
He had to qualify as well. But I believe this came around, like, I don't know the conversation that he had with Daybreak, but he was kind of maybe tasked with, amping up Legacy in like ahead of Eternal Weekend. So he kind of asked a few people saying, what would you want leading up to Eternal Weekend? Do you want more challenges? And I think the answer generally was, we don't want more challenges. We want bigger prizes. We want a bigger prestige event, which I think he pulled off great. It looks amazing. I was away all weekend. Otherwise, I would have joined as well.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie. I want to say the next upcoming Eternal Weekend basically concludes the year for me where I've played the least Magic in basically ever since I started playing competitive Magic, so I'm feeling somewhat kind of out of it. But it's kind of cool that like, you know, this year completes with like the same event that I consciously decided, hey, let's play a little bit less Magic. Otherwise, I would have also been super into it. It's actually kind of crazy, right? When you think about this is. Even for a regular challenge, 241 players would be a lot, but this is something people had to qualify for. So people went out of the way to get into this and to play in that tournament.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but appreciation for like the work Anorak does and like how they are pushing Legacy Online. Even though like looking at the meta, but I guess that's kind of where we are right now. And I don't even want to talk about it, honestly.
It's Underground Seas World. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There was like, so I scrolled through the deck list a little bit, and there was like a card I've never seen before in a deck, in a Legacy deck at least. I saw it plenty in Standard, but it's I found it in the 23rd place deck list from Dauphiné. Maybe I'm sorry if I butchered your name, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a single copy of Shoot the Sheriff. And
what the fuck is that?
Dude, it's a black instant for 2 mana. It's basically a Doomblade, but it has more text on it. Check this out. So you go destroy target non-outlaw creature. And as a reminder, it says assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks are outlaws. Everyone else is fair game.
Are pirates necessarily outlaws? I guess they get like branded as pirates, and that
like,
comes
I mean
being an outlaw.
All the bad guys, basically, right? So that's telling me that Legacy is just full of non-bad guys. Which sounds very wrong, I think, because like it's like all the creatures are just like so incredibly powerful and evil and all that. They're just not assassins, mercenary, pirates, rogues, or warlocks for some reason.
I was going to refute the card on what it actually does, but if we're doing thematically, then I don't know. But like this card gets brought up in conversation a fair amount for the blue-black decks, but Go for Throat I think is just better usually. Go for Throat doesn't kill Welder. But apart from that, this doesn't kill Dauthi Voidwalker, Hull Breacher, Opposition Agent, and probably a couple more, which I think is just more than Painter.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, but
and this is black as well. I think it is.
I don't know where it started, but like Wizards, at some point they decided to print like more Doomblade cards, right? Like cards that basically say Doomblade on them, but they have like more text sometimes. But yeah, but this is really really cool to see like a removal spell printed like this year.
It's a really funky removal spell, but I think it's pretty bad. But
I would be surprised if this is just like another version of a removal spell that people can add to their commander decks to have more removal. Because all I hear about is that people don't play enough removal in their like commander decks.
I think it's just another removal spell. Like there's tons in every set that just doesn't get played and constructed.
Dude, there's even the second copy of Shoot the Sheriff in the sideboard. I totally.
I only saw the one in the sideboard. Is there one in the main deck?
There's one in the main, dude.
The flavor text is amazing, by the way. Now, where's the deputy?
Yeah.
Almost cringe. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like looking at a couple of mercenaries, and can you guys help me out? Because there's this really weird one from Prophecy. It's called Death Charmer, and it's a worm mercenary. It's like a leech. How can a leech be a mercenary? Like it has no concept of money, does it?
Not yet.
Not yet. I don't know how it can be a mercenary.
It vents the chill of the grave.
How did you even know that? You just typed that in and Googled it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know Death Charmer's flavor text off by heart.
And Death Charmer deals combat damage to a creature. That creature's controller loses 2 life unless he or she pays 2.
It's so bad. I used to have a mercenaries deck.
Oh, you were one of those guys?
Yeah.
I was wondering. I bought the
Rebels were
Rebel
obviously
pre-constructed.
Rebels were like 10 times better, but they were the good guys, so I wanted to be the evil guys.
The Rebels went up right in the chain and the mercenaries went down. And like even as a stupid child who had no idea about magic, like I looked at that and I was like, who would ever do that? That's the stupidest. Like you have to start at the big creature and then you can get smaller. Like Yeah, it made no sense to me at all.
I can't even remember. I just remember them being awful, but they looked cooler. So
I remember my friend playing Mercenaries, and he was the guy who ended up cheating and like stacking his deck and everything. And I think part of it was he was like getting destroyed with like a stupid mercenary deck all the time. And
I think you'd probably still lose against Rebels even if you did stack your deck every game.
If I had more time, we should actually try this out. Just like do some kind of video and figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay. So
should we go back to the the events this weekend?
To the non-mercenary deck lists? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, shoot the sheriff. I would just prefer to play Go for the Throat, which I think is pretty good. It's there's no, apart from Source of Plowshares, there's no really good one mana removal spell that like kills Frog and Murktide and is so flexible. So Go for the Throat is just pretty good in the format these days, I think.
I'm just sad that Terra has been like outclassed in Magic. Like
that's
don't even...
a long time since Go for the Throat, really.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people, ever since people started saying it dies to Doomblade, right, and that became a thing, and I think there's even like a podcast like called "It Dies to Doomblade" or something with like the Professor and Pleasant Kenobi. But I used to say it dies to Terror, and I didn't even really know what that means because I thought it was like the coolest thing ever to kill your opponent's creature with Terror. But yeah, anyway.
You know what doesn't die to Terror? Yeah. Psychic Frog. So unplayable. Sorry.
Yeah, or let's say like half of the format right now.
Yeah, Troll, like, Attractor, Archon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Thassa's Oracle does. You can kill that.
Ooh, that actually sometimes matters, right?
Like I mean, on the other hand, like name a removal spell that doesn't kill Thassa's Oracle. It dies to everything. It's the same as
shoot the sheriff. You can't kill Merfolk. Is that right?
Is Merfolk one of the bad guys?
Did we just say Mercenaries House?
Mercenaries, Merfolk, basically the same, right?
Yeah, starts with M.
Is there any mercenary Merfolk? No, that's a question to be asked.
Dude, I just typed in mercenary in Scryfall and just like it just pooped out all the terrible creatures from like from Nemesis and like Prophecy.
All right, everything kills Thassa's Oracle. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, there literally is no Merfolk mercenary design space to be filled.
Yep.
Is there mercenary pirates? Is that like a thing, or
that's Hull Breacher?
Oh no! Don't tell me it's a mercenary pirate.
Oh, not a mercenary pirate. Sorry, it's a pirate Merfolk.
Yeah.
Also no mercenary pirates. Okay.
Big design space here, Wizards of the Coast. If you're listening,
honestly, anything pirate themed. Have they ever done like a proper pirate themed set? I think they like. I remember like back in like the blue cards in Mechanic Masks, right?
Yeah, masks. Or the pay one unless you sacrifice a land or
whatever. yeah. The deck of the year, according to Channel Fireball in 2017. That's actually still one of my greatest achievements. I won deck of the year for a deck I didn't even build.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Guys, you looked at all these decks, and apart from all these blue-black reanimator, blue-black tempo, blue-black, I even saw people discussing whether it's like blue-black tempo or blue-black mid-range, and I don't even want to get into that. Is there anything that sticks out to you? I guess we should start with the top right.
Well, we can go through the top 8, but what's a trend is the blue-black decks are trending away from reanimator and becoming more mid-range. I don't know if that's because the win rate of that deck is going up more. People in this event wants to play it more. It's hard to tell much else because it's a very new thing in the last week or two, but blue-black tempo is on the rise, and the reanimator deck is still really good, but going down as people pack more and more graveyard hate, and people are realizing the sideboard Duke is just what I want to do game 1, I guess. And that means there's more Orcish Bone Masters in the metagame, if that means something for your deck. Moonstompy is kind of trending the same way. Painter is trending down. It's just, it had a good couple of weeks. But
even the blue-black tempo decks, like they have not, like the choice of creatures is not really all that structured. It seems like all they have in common is that Psychic Frog is a 4-off, right? Like there's just no discussion. It's like good old Tarmogoyf back then. Like why would you play less than 4 kind of thing? But then like everything else is like a 2-off or 3-off, and like sometimes a 1-off, and it's like a mix of, it's like a soup of Tamios, Bowmasters, Nethergoyfs, like Murktides, Brazen Borrowers.
I think like soup, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It's as if they can't just really decide which is the best one.
They're all really, really good. So I would really struggle to work it out myself as well. There's even some people playing Delver.
Oh, in addition? Well, that's not going to flip forever.
Well, Ika Baronin in the top 8 had Delvers, I think.
Okay. But how do you flip Delver if you have like 20 plus creatures in your Delver deck and
You have to
nice
some,
spell bombs? And
I'm going to pull up the list. Whereas
But he's got 24 cards that flipped over, so I guess that's decent.
Oh, you know, that's
creatures.
That's actually even better than the good old Team America from back then with Liliana of the Veil main deck. Dude, that deck, terrible Delver deck. What a terrible Delver deck. It never flipped.
I mean,
it also plays like 3 copies of Nihil Spellbomb, which could be something else, but I guess that's a conscious decision.
Something to do with the format.
Yeah.
Grows Nethergoyf. There's lots of graveyard decks. I think, I guess a trend people can like try and look out for is Nethergoyf is probably going to be a bit more aggressive and tempo-y, whereas there are definitely builds out there that just like 2 or 3 Murktide, probably 2, and then like Tamiyo and Frog, and it's going to play a much more grindy, longer game and just try and flip Tamiyo and one shot with a Frog. I've seen that happen so much now.
Yeah, definitely. It's also going to be like a little bit of a dance between like how many Bowmasters are going to be there, how many Bellifrostrix can I actually play, because Bellifrostrix looks very, very good versus Frog, as we mentioned on
and then
on
Bowmasters.
So.
The thing with Bowmasters is the best answer to it is itself. So as the card trends up, people will just keep playing more of it to kind of answer other people's Bowmasters probably. Like obviously there's lots of cards that kill a Bowmasters, but playing Bowmasters is one of the best things in the format that just kills other ones. So yeah, I think if people kind of notice this trend and the trend continues, then yeah, we may just see more Bowmasters than we're used to, because it kind of fell off over the last few months, right? A couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like one of the biggest reasons probably that it doesn't answer any of the big threats like Murktide or Barrowgoyf, for example. You know, like those, like Troll of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah,
like Bowmaster looks just so embarrassing versus those guys. It's a little bit of like a cat mouse thing, I think, where your removal has to like line up with their threats. You know, and it doesn't always, just work out.
Yeah, it still doesn't make a ton of sense to me in the format, other than it's like a fine mid-range card at odds ring each other. But like, third place has 3, second place has 2 in the sideboard, fourth place has 3 main, fifth place has 2 main, and there's maybe some more on the sideboard after these. Then we've got Breakfast. There's none in the Delver deck from Ikebaronin. By the way, Ikebaronin played a Shoot the Sheriff as well in 7th place.
Buy your copies now.
I still think it's bad.
Buy your copies now.
I'm sure he has a reason for playing it over the Go through. But yeah, there's Bowmasters. I don't quite get it, but hey, we're here. And there's also Metamorphosis Fanatics are kind of popping around. I was not super sold on this card when it first came out, and it can do some really cool things, and people are saying like it's nice with Street Wraith, and maybe it's there in a weird shell of like Death Shadow or Death Shadowless Death Shadow with like, because it's lifelink and it's weird. But I don't know, it seems a bit clunky sometimes. It's really bad draw early game sometimes. So their cards kind of trended down. There's still 1, 2, or 3 copies. There's 1 copy in lots of the reanimated decks.
Man,
what I noticed,
dude, like earlier today, I streamed a Legacy, and I played against this guy who basically took this approach, but added green for Worldly Tutor to Worldly Tutor the Metamorphosis Fanatic, to put it on top of the library, and then to surprise miracle it to get a troll back.
I think that's legit.
Dude, and like that really gave me like the Mystical Tutor for Terminus vibes, you know what I mean?
Well, so when the card was very first spoiled, this is what I pitched some friends, but lots of people thought of it. I think it's quite a clear thing. Like, it's quite a powerful play to be able to Worldly Tutor for your animation spell, but also it kind of combos with the Surveil lands. So you fetch a Surveil land with the trigger on the stack, you Worldly Tutor. So it's kind of like an Entomb if you have a fetch as well. If you get what I mean.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So,
okay.
so Worldly Tutor is then like an Entomb or a reanimation spell. So I think that's a cool setup.
Yeah.
That's been unexplored.
Like, do you know how good that is in the late game where you're both in top deck mode and opponent goes like Worldly Tutor and you're like, dude, I'm screwed.
You know what I want to see? I want to see this becoming a real tech, and people not only play like 4 copies of Worldly Tutor, they also play 4 copies of.
Shit.
You know the name? You know the name?
No, it's called a Milieu for 2 cantrip for 1 mana.
No,
Predict.
Sylvan Tutor.
Oh my goodness, dude,
That's the
so
Portal
bad.
Sorcery version.
No one would play a sorcery speed tutor like personal tutors.
Oh,
It's
dude.
terrible.
It's like $50 plus.
Really.
Dude, yeah, of course it's Portal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But people should like, yeah, generally, they should definitely play that sorcery speed tutor.
Score.
Yeah, just to find out how terrible personal tutor is. Like,
But back on Worldly Tutor, I'm just stealing ideas from a guy called Nick who plays in London. He played Black Green like Reanimator a bunch before Fnatic came out, so I think he tried that as well. But he then like sideboarded into the With a Bloom Apprentice Chain of Smog combo, which is a really good pivot, I think, because people want to take out their spot removal generally against Reanimator, and this is a combo that, you know, it plays well with Dark Ritual, it plays well with discard spells, and it plays well with, you know, it doesn't use the graveyard. So I don't know. I thought that like Black Green Reanimator would see a bit more play after the Fnatic was out, but Blue Black is just better because you have Psychic Frog, so whatever.
Yeah, it also circles back to the frog, right? In the end.
Yeah.
Is there anything greater than frog?
No. After like the normal Ancient Tomb, Brainstorm, best cards in the format, it probably is the best, right?
It almost feels like, you know, kind of reminds me of the days of like 2005, like with Muradin and Affinity. Everybody was like, yeah, Affinity is the best deck, but then there's like the deck that allegedly beats Affinity that loses to everything else, and I don't even know what this deck would be in this comparison.
yeah, like the Astro Slide back.
That Julian played in like the 2005 World Championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was like mono artifact destruction basically.
Yeah, main deck, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that brings us back to Painter with like 7 blasts in the main deck or something.
Yeah, I think Painter is one of the couple of decks that has a good matchup against the blue-black decks generally.
So Painter overall in the NCD event, there were 10 people playing the deck, and it had a win rate of 57%, which is like pretty good, right?
That's very high, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think like whatever deck you play in a tournament like this, like it has to either have a good matchup versus the blue-black decks, or it needs to have a good matchup against the Ancient Tomb decks, right? Like one or the other. I think if you checkmark one of those two, then I think you have like a somewhat decent shot.
Yeah. So Painter did like pretty well against Eldrazi, as well as Dimir Tempo, like pretty good win percentage, like 60 and 75. It also did pretty well against Upsal spells, which is sometimes a bit surprising, but I guess, yeah.
Vexing Bauble is a really good one to just have to, like, it can steal game ones, and then you bring in all your Fairy Macabres and stuff like that.
Oh, it got destroyed by Red Stompy.
Yeah.
70% win percentage.
Yeah.
Oh, but it also went 72% against Blue Black Reanimator. So it had like a really good win percentage against Blue Black Reanimator and Blue Black Tempo. So basically what you just said, Callum, right?
Cool. Yeah.
I wish it always worked that way.
Just
sit down with
listen
your
to me.
opponent.
I'll be the prophet.
Yeah, you sit down with your opponent, you're just like, come on, look at the numbers. So you're supposed to lose, I'm supposed to win. Can we just like sign the slip? One day, yeah, okay.
One of my favorite things I love to tell people, usually if they're getting pissed off and I want to egg them on, is just say like, well, you're 70% like matchup. That's not 100%. You still need to lose 30% of the time. So get over it.
This is one of them.
Some people think that if you're over 50% in a matchup, you kind of deserve to win it, which is nuts.
Because you outsmarted your opponent by bringing the deck that has a higher win percentage. Yeah, those people should start playing poker.
One thing that surprised me, I think Nadu is one of the best decks in the format, like top 3, and I'm surprised that it got like 40, just almost 48% win rate.
Yeah.
I thought
but honestly, like, the truth is, I really don't read too much into these win rates. Like they're kind of cool for content.
No.
And sometimes you see something like that. For example, Dimir Tempo, like 33 players at a 53 win percentage. That basically tells me the deck is good, and that's everything else I need to know. And like, if I see 70% there, like right, Dimir driver, like one person, whatever. Even the Nado deck, it's just like 15 people playing it. On a good day, like
I'm also saying like there's one in the top 8 and one in the top 16. I think the deck is a little bit better than these numbers. I'm not reading
Black Phoenix. That sounds like a Marvel comic or something.
It was Arclight Phoenix with Buried Alive.
Yeah, but we never called the deck Black Phoenix, right? Did we?
No, I know, but whoever made it didn't know.
That's a cool name, though.
Yeah,
I liked Buried Phoenix.
Yeah, Buried Phoenix, right? That's what he called it.
But it went 1 and 6, my baby. Well, shout out to you. Salute to you. I love it. I love seeing that deck.
Shy Phoenix.
Riddlesmith combo. Oh, that's the name escapes me, from Germany. The person who always plays Riddlesmith combo.
Oh, yeah, I'm blanking as well.
Yeah,
Killer bee.
Killer bee. I was going to say something with a bird, but close enough. Fly.
Bees fly, yeah.
It has wings, yeah. Yeah, so what do we make of all of this? So I guess we were going to quickly go through the top 8 right now, just for documentation reasons or something. So we got first place winner, Chotin on Oops All Spells. Second place, 416 Frowning Table on Blue-Black Reanimator. Juan Matt in third place playing Blue-Black Tempo. Hammer Fist, fourth place, Blue-Black Tempo. Necrophone, fifth place, Blue-Black Tempo. Bleep 45, Band Nadu, Echo Baronen, Blue-Black Tempo, but we don't listen to Danes, I was told at the beginning of the podcast.
I didn't say
Tio Patinas playing Monochi only gangsters. Monochi Eldrazi. And then we get a lot more people in the top 16 playing Dragon Stompy, Nadu Elves, which was kind of like a weird hybrid. I actually streamed that a couple of months ago. It's basically Nadu, but it emphasizes acceleration even more, plays 4 Cradles in Natural Order.
An Elvish Herder?
No more, unfortunately. Like the moment I picked it up, I knew the card is not going to stick. Monochi Eldrazi, Dragon Stompy, 4-Ring Painter, which honestly seems to be the most successful version of Painter. I haven't really tried it out yet, and I think, Callum, you said you're not going to play that at Eternal Weekend. Mm-hmm. But from everything I see, it could always, of course, also be a case of like the people who play that always doing well because they are good, I guess.
It's a little bit of a mix of, I think the Cauldron ones actually put up the most results, but Kanakan plays 4-Ring Painter and he plays a lot and wins a lot because he's really good. So I think that's the main reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm basically locked into playing Painter. I don't really have time or to come up with anything else.
Yeah, same. As I'm the yin to Kai's yang, as like he was saying earlier, he's been playing loads and stuff, and I've been just distracted from living in this new area, playing with the dog, not playing any Magic at all. So what's your rating, by the way, on Newcastle thus far? Is it like better than expected? Exactly on like what you expected, or is it actually slightly worse? It's better than expected.
Oh, really?
It's beautiful. I feel like I'm on holiday. So it's been a month and a half, and like I went for a walk at sunrise this morning with the dog, just walking on the beaches, and I'm still pinching myself. So
that's amazing. Yeah. You know what I did this morning? Today's I basically starting today. Starting today, I have the next 3 weeks off, with the exception of like one day. Yeah, I'm going to like hang out with Kai. Kai, are we supposed to mention what happens?
I think we can say that. Yeah,
you think we can say that? Yeah. So actually,
I'm not
gonna hang out with Kai.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be married man.
I forgot it's actually true. That was a joke about you too.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm literally getting married in 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you thought like we were joking about Kai getting married like for the last couple of months?
No. No, I didn't. I just forgot about it.
Yeah, and the best part is my girlfriend or my future wife also plays Magic. So
hell yeah.
And she's actually better than you in some formats,
right? She actually plays more Magic than your boy.
But my favorite part was like when we were talking about what we can do like the day after the wedding, and Kai was like, there's a tournament, we can go play Legacy. I was like,
yeah.
Like, didn't you just like get married?
It's just so convenient, yeah, because like we chose to marry on a Wednesday, which is not really typical, but that's what the date we got. It's just very convenient because Thursday is our paper Legacy day. So if I'm not hangovered enough, then if I'm not, what did I say?
If you're not hungover enough on the next day,
I might wanna go. But let's see.
Dude, I'm actually nervous because like you requested me to take the pictures of your wedding, and I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And I even like I talked to my friend, and we went to the park, and we did some photo shooting in the park because of that, because I wanted to get like a better feel of it.
Oh, I mean, I know that you end up just taking selfies of yourself instead.
I thought you were gonna say like, I know you're gonna take shit pictures. It's all fine. No, I'm nervous, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you can bring your deck. We can play a little bit. That's cool.
Like as you're walking down the aisle, right? Something like that.
I mean, also like spoiler alerts, like a third of the people who come to our party also play Magic, so we can technically also start a tournament right there.
Are you going to have all the tables at the reception, like in pods of 8 to cube after?
Yeah, or people are going to submit their DCI number first, of course. Yeah,
DCI number.
Whoever's got the smallest number gets the first drink.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so that's what's going to go down next week. And the week after, I think I already talked about that. I'm going to go to Egypt to do my first kitesurfing camp. And
buddy.
then it's almost like 3 weeks over and going back to work, but then I still have so many days off. And the Eternal Weekend is coming up right after that.
That
Yeah,
old
same.
thing.
Yeah. Honestly, Eternal Weekend is going to be so embarrassing. Either I'm going to win it, because that's sometimes what happens, right? When people haven't played Magic or Legacy in a long time, and then they show up to a paper tournament and they're like, let me just do what I've always been doing. And all of a sudden it's like, ooh, this. Haven't you seen that before? Like friends who like haven't played for like a long time, they show up to a tournament, like even a GP. Like a friend of mine, I think, went to the top 8 of a GP after not playing for like 2 or 3 years. He just like showed up, and he always played Doomsday, and then that tournament he played, I want to say like 4-color Loam. It was like so weird to see that. And then he was just like, yeah, I would cast turn 1 Knight of the Reliquary, and it was good. It was really good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Until he saw Shoot the Sheriff.
Wasn't printed back then.
It was out lights out.
Cool. So yeah, I guess we're gonna be two painter players and a Doomsday. Walk into a Czech bar.
Yeah, a Czech bar.
I think they created some new alcohol laws in the Czech Republic.
Oh,
I think
really?
they Americanized them or something. That basically you can't have like drinks in the street or something. I guess nobody's really gonna care about that.
Oh yeah, also
I
you're
don't
gonna
think
break
so.
the rules anyway. Yeah.
Who needs rules when you're gonna win the tournament anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not gonna go outside and drink beer. Well, I guess you do if you play Oops or
Of course
Spurs.
you do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can
you imagine?
I'm there to have fun and drink beer. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there to have fun and not drink beer, because beer is disgusting. But I guess that's a topic for a different podcast. Okay.
I'll drink beer and play Magic.
So, guys, let us take a quick look at the second cool tournament that went down this weekend, because initially when both tournaments were announced, I kind of confused them. And doing that, by the way, we totally skipped, oh my god, this is all over the place. If you've been listening up until the 45-minute mark that we should be at right now, roughly, thank you so much to Eucalyptus. I can only emphasize again, Eucalyptus joined our post as our Patreon as a new patron. So thank you so much for supporting the cast. Also, this is Everyday Journal number 179. So now that we have the intro out of the way of your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly Legacy podcast, if you want to support the running of the show directly, you can join Eucalyptus and the band of all of our other supporters at patreon.com/everydayeternal. So guys, what have you been up to? No.
I'm getting so confused.
That's part of the deal. No, that was the MTGO Creator Showdown going down the previous week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell me, like, how did you qualify for that kind of event?
So you can't qualify for this. If you're playing in leagues and stuff on Magic Online, you might sometimes see accounts with DB_, meaning Daybreak. So basically, Daybreak have a whole creator program where these creators, they stream a lot, they make YouTube videos, they make content in all their different ways, and they get kind of god accounts where they get all the cards or almost all the cards, and so they do these creator showdowns. I'm gonna say once a month, but that's pulling it completely out of my ass. I don't really know, but they do it every now and then, and it's all the creators are invited to do it. I believe the last one was Dual Commander, one before that was Modern, I think, so now it's Legacy's time. So yeah, you couldn't qualify for this, but you had to be on the creator program. So the metagame was a bit weird. I haven't looked at it right in front of me, but it was like most played was Moonstompy, because I think a lot of the creators don't play a ton of Legacies, so they just saw it as it's easier to pick up than a lot of the other decks. So there's some background for the event.
Mm-hmm. So there's probably not too much to be read into the actual metagame.
No, I mean there are a lot of good Legacy players in here as well, and a lot of players that are just good at every single format as well. I mean, we see Rodrigo go 5-1. We saw there's a lot of names that I recognize here from playing other formats as well. So these people are just good at Magic in general. So it's not like I'm disparaging their results and stuff. But yeah, it's probably not what you'd expect the metagame to look like from like a Legacy format with an open invitation kind of thing.
But there's so much money to be won. Seriously. Like, I looked at this and I was like, dude, I should have tried to play in this. Like, first place, Min H. Like, he went 6-0, which is like respectable, but that also like sometimes happens in that challenge, right? And he got $1,250.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he can
$1,250.
he can buy the deck and paper now.
Probably not, but
Buy a couple of underground seas.
It's like 3, I guess, at best.
No. But anyway,
Dude, are you kidding me?
that's like
I
2
have
underground
no
seas.
idea. I have no idea how much an underground
Like
is these
Julian
days.
still believes that underground is like a $20 card.
No, it used to be a 20 euro card when I started. It was the most it was the okay. Anyway, I always talk about that. And he played drum roll. Actually, I have a drum roll saved somewhere here. That's not it.
All right, Pox time, baby.
No, that's also not it. Okay.
Here comes
Anyway.
the new challenger.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
I'm never gonna financially recover.
Yeah, that's what he said after buying all the underground seas. No, seriously, like he got $1,250. Like fuck challenges. I wanna play in this thing every single month.
You can if you
even
become a
5-1.
creator.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Also, I guess they're not gonna have legacy all the time.
No.
Okay, but Cherry X-Men is a name I actually remember.
Yep.
Or recognize rather, because Cherry X-Men actually does play a lot of Mystic Fortune Legacy leagues, right?
Yeah, he's a like younger English guy. He streamed for a while, a year or two ago. I'm not sure how much he plays now, but yeah, he's always played these kind of combo decks.
You don't sound too impressed.
No, I am. I didn't know him, so I don't want to like say we're friends or anything. But no, he does. He's always played Mystic Forge as well before it even got really broken as it is now and stuff. So it's cool to see him do well.
Yeah, he went all the way to the finals, went 5-1, got $750.
Nice.
And then we got a bunch more players at 5-1. Andy Bloomier playing Monochi Eldrazi,
Control freak.
Control, not Cunt Freak. I was like, what the fuck is that name? Anyway, Control Freak at 5-1, playing Blue Black Tempo, Ryan Overdrive, Dragon Stompy, and Rodrigo Togoras, aka Shark Custom Mage, playing Band Nadu, no surprises there. All of those guys got $600, and then at even 4-2, you got stuff worth around 200 tickets. I think you got like 50 treasure chests, and then like 200 something player points, whatever. And for that, we got Respect the Cat at Barn Beanstalk Pile. I think every one of these decks plays like 4 copies of Ground Seal these days. I think I also saw Anurag playing that. And of course, we get, well, I say of course. I feel like Terry Bat is a name, like half the players in tournaments are a Terry Bat. Anyway, and Terry Bat played Blue Black Reanimator and also getting that sweet pay. Dude, that's such a sick payoff for 4-2.
You need to become a creator.
Yeah.
I
Come
should
on,
seriously.
Julian, create some
consider
content.
Yeah, I've never done that before. You know how when you like look, like I feel like the same way, like football players, for example, who played in like the 60s or even 70s must feel these days when they look at football players these days, and they're like, dude, you earn so much more money. And that's kind of like the way I look at this tournament right now.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Kai, you should play in that. You still stream a lot, right?
Sorry, yeah, like I even got the invitation for like for this event, but I just couldn't, man. Like wedding preparations, but man, it looks really, really cool. Also, like I was watching the Twitch videos after the event, and like you saw like Reed Duke, for example, playing like playing online, and a couple of other people who just like they used to play a lot of Legacy, but like these days they are more like Pro Tour people maybe.
Dude, like you were like stuck with wedding preparations. Like you should have 6-0'd this, and then you could have actually hired a proper wedding photographer. Actually,
like,
you couldn't.
If you go to this tournament with like guys, like I really need to win this. It's not. And it's not even
bribe
about
them
the
every
game.
round.
Yeah, it's just not about the game, dude. It's like
I need the money. People, oh, you need the money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We didn't know you wanted the money. Okay.
there's a person I need to marry.
There's a person, I hope there's a person you need to marry, not some kind of animal or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is that? The NA Legacy Championship has already broken last year's records. What?
I added this on.
You did that?
I added to the show notes just before we started.
I thought it was like some AI thing, like just automatically added itself to the show notes because like we're that far advanced. That's over 1,000 players. Is that? Yeah, it says so right there. It broke last year's record. I was gonna say it's like a new record. Holy shit!
I don't know if it's the
This
biggest
is
ever.
insane.
I have no idea, but over 1,000 is crazy. Because our predictions like a month or so ago was like, yeah, America probably like 800, Europe like 600.
Yeah, especially because they announced that there's no painting this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but honestly, I kind of like it that like is it the top 32 or the top 16 who get these special cards?
I can't remember.
That's a bigger draw to me than the painting because it's like it's so much easier to get like top 32 right? Relative to like if you are in top 32 to get first place. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like I can very much see myself getting top 32 if I really tried.
You feel like you're more realistically fighting for a good prize.
Yeah, but
Right. Yeah.
I have no idea what the prices are. It's just like
But then,
Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
Those cards are also going to be like really expensive.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. I'd still go and play with 0 prizes. So don't tell them that though.
yeah.
They'll get some ideas.
Well, like 2 months ago when I went to the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy, like everyone was like, "Dude, okay, so yeah, I guess we see each other in Pittsburgh." Like that's what they all said. Like they just assume that everyone's going, and I think everyone's probably going. It's just insane. Like for such a big country, you know, that so many players come together.
Yeah, but I hear like that's a pretty good place to gather.
Yeah.
At least for the US. I mean, for Europe as well, right? Prague is always like one of those places a lot of people go. Have you guys already signed up for the European one?
I have, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I still need to do that. Totally forgot about that.
I haven't signed up
list.
for the pre-modern because I'm gonna just see how I feel on the weekend. But Legacy definitely playing.
I totally forgot, Kai. What are you gonna play on Sunday, or are you just gonna wipe?
Vintage baby. Both main events.
Both main events every time.
Yeah, dude. I like after that weekends, my brain's gonna melt. Like, because on the first day you gotta do like LED consider techniques, and then on the second day you go like Gush, Ancestral, Black Lotus. It's the same core though, right? It's the same. Yeah, it's
when you get back home,
same deck.
You'll be doing everything in like blocks of 5. So like, hey babe, can you cut the potatoes? Yeah, he's like 5 bits of potato.
But the vintage piles are a lot easier, right?
So the vintage piles are boo boo bb gaga because you have Ancestral and Gush, right? And they're gonna fix everything for you. The difficult part though is the game before you cast Doomsday. That's the difficult part in vintage because there's just so many things can go wrong. Before you even put Doomstick on the stack. It's kind of vice versa to the Legacy deck, where I feel like putting Doomstick on the stack in Legacy is just very easy sometimes, but then it's like the pile that's just really annoying sometimes, or like you can play around like 3 things but not the 4th one, and then you die to that 4th piece of hate, you know.
You know what I always like, what impresses me with Legacy Doomsday? When I'm sitting there and I feel like, okay, I've got like 4 different scenarios covered that they could go for, like after Doomsday has resolved, and I got all of them covered. And the only one I cannot beat is if they literally just like pass 3 times and then do something. But they literally go like, draw, go, draw, go, draw, go, Cavern, Oracle. And I sit there and have all the hate in the world. And I'm like, that's the one thing I can't beat. How could you not respect me like having something in these 3 turns? And they're just like, I got the vibe, man.
Dude, play Disruptive Flute. That's how you beat Doomsday. I should probably not say this on this podcast, but like this card is just very, very good.
But you run out Flute and you just like name Oracle?
Oh, the thing about this card is that you can play it any time. You can name Doomsday, of course, but the moment where you really get them is if they already made the pile and then you play it and name Thassa's Oracle to it. Like they
Yeah, but isn't that where they then like cycle into force and force it?
Well, I mean that's also what you're gonna blast, right? Because you told me a minute ago that you have all the blasts in the world, is what you told me.
So you're saying actually, if you have a lot of counter magic, you want something proactive that stays on the board, so you can actually use the rest of your counter magic as opposed to like just losing to Cavern. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's much harder for them, right? That also kind of changed. Like, I mean, this is going like a year, like back to like 2022 or so, but. Before Modern Horizons 2, there was just no way control decks could beat Cavern of Souls, Thassa's Oracle, because there was no endurance, there was no dress down, none of that, right? So it was really easy. Like all they did was like Oku and I don't know, like Uro stuff, and it just didn't matter.
Force Stifle in the sideboard.
Exactly. And like after they got dress down, now Cavern of Souls didn't work because because I had to now counter that dress down. And then they could easily like blast or Veil of Summer, and was like terrible game experience from my perspective. But you can do the same too. Yeah, people should not just sit back and hope that the counter magic works out.
Yeah, too easy.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think I'm gonna get everything ready. Gonna jump on the train tomorrow morning to hit the old Berlin. It's been a year since I've been there. Is it still the same? Are there any special rules I need to know about the city?
I mean, it's a pretty.
Actually, I'm going to your part of the city for the very first time.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be gross.
It's gonna be gross. Should I like literally tell people like, hey, I'm friends with Kaiser Vatari, and they're like, oh, okay,
No,
sweet.
you-
You're getting to
you
Berkheim.
gross.
It's fine.
You gross.
Like, thank you very much. That's the dress code, right? Everybody should come as
Yeah.
gross as possible,
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
as I was told. Oh, that's why we have so many Magic players. Okay, I see.
Before we leave and wrap up as well, I just want to make sure people are aware of how good the coverage is set to be for the American Eternal weekend as well. So it's going to be on Card Titan. I think it's just Card Titan. If you search for that, all like no spaces or funny symbols at Twitch. We've got Riley Knight, Tannen Grace, Ika Baronen, Corey Baumeister, Eli Cassis, Reed Duke, and the Many Insane Players podcast, which is Steve Menendian and Kevin Cron. So that is like a stacked lineup.
Oh man.
With Anurag running it and stuff. So yeah, tune in because that's going to be awesome.
I will be watching from Egypt.
I'll be watching from not Egypt. A less cool place. But yeah, I'm
Cool.
totally tuning in all weekend.
Looking
for that.
forward to that very much. Awesome. I think, guys, we're going to call it a day here. Really looking forward. Actually, we're going to discuss the results. Actually, are we? We will see. No, I think our next recording is right before that. We're looking to that to pick like a spicy topic, like maybe some evergreen topic that's going to come out later today. And then the first episode on December, we're going to look back at the results of Eternal Weekend North America. Before we all head to Prague to find out whether one of us is going to take down the entire thing. Maybe.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
It's a non-zero chance.
I still believe. In the meantime, if you want to support the running of the show directly, you can support us on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or just head on over to patreon.com/everydaychannel. If you are on an iOS device, shit's fucked. Don't do it. Go to a desktop computer. No, seriously, like they kind of rip you off. I don't know what they charge you if you sign up through an iOS device. If you already are a patron, nothing changes for you, unless you like opt out and then come back again, as you definitely should. But yeah, that's basically my comment on that. Shit's fucked. Don't use iOS to sign up for the Patreon. Just do it on a desktop computer and everybody's going to be fine. And I think that's going to be it today. Thank you so much to all the people supporting us, especially our Eternal Witness tier supporters, Franco Boli, Kane, Colin Garassi, Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacular, Sebastian Holager, Guillaume, Sean Dewey, Stephen Bush, Jim Monolith, Francis Cowper, Cassandra Davis, Rachel Scherer, Connor Clark, Tom Tischka, Benedict Gruber, and Severin Schwarzhuber. And our top Shoot the Sheriff tier supporters, Evan Lazar, Tom Happ, Harry Houdini MTG, Ian Seefeld, Joe Brennan, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Ciao.